going on YouTube? Pistol Pete here. Today, as you can tell by the title, I'm going to be doing a little comparison video over my Recon 1. These are all in clip point. This is going to be my clip point collection. But first, I want to let you know next week, hopefully if it's not raining, I'm here in California, it's supposed to rain all week long. We're supposed to get so many inches of rain, so it kind of sucks to do testing. Hopefully I can get a spot where it's just sprinkling. It's not going to be too crazy, so I can do this. But I'm going to test this one. This is a budget one, budget folder for this one here is like around 25 bucks, a little under 25 bucks. And it looks like it's a pretty nice little folder. So I'm going to do a hard use review on this and see how it holds up. That's to come. So back to the Recon 1s. So as you guys know, the last videos I got in a Recon 1 kick. You know, I guess I'm one of those guys that has that, you know, you get into one trend of a knife or one maker and you just start going that direction for a while. So right now, my direction is back to Cold Steel. Cold Steel's always been one of my favorite manufacturers. I love a lot of their knives. I shouldn't say all of them, but I know a lot of them I love. I have a huge Cold Steel collection. They're one of my favorite manufacturers, one of the favorite brands to own. They do quality, really good quality for really good price, you know, for what you get. So right now I'm on the Recon 1 kick. I just been falling in love with this knife. Is once I got the satin finish one, I started following with the other ones, you know, getting pretty good deals on them. So I gotta keep it going. But this is one of the very first Recon 1s I got, but it's the mini. So that's why I couldn't say about the big one being, because I know the big ones are a little different. So now that I got the big ones, I love them all. And this one here, I love it. This one here is the Recon 1 mini, and this one here is perfect EDC size. And just look at that beautiful clip point. This one here is an Oz 10A steel, stonewash finish. And this one still has that triad lock. The only thing different about this one is this one doesn't have G10. This one here is more like that Gryvex, or what do they call that? Glass field nylon styles kind of stuff. Just a fancy way of saying plastic, fancy plastic. But action is good, has the triad lock still. The clip is pretty good, I think, because that plastic, it's a little more sleek, a little more slippery. It's not as tacky as G10. So the pocket clip, it's not too bad when you put this in your clip. But something this small and this little, I just throw it in my pocket. I don't even clip it, tell you the truth. I just throw it in my pocket and go. Awesome little knife. I usually will take something like this and then a bigger folder with me when I go out. So something a little small, so in case I don't scare all the little people out there that get scared, little scaredy cats with the knives, I'll use this. And if I'm out, you know, out and about in my father's backyard or out camping, I'll throw the big one out and start chopping stuff with the big folder or doing what I need to do, my tasks. But I love the ergonomics of the grip, are just awesome. Feels really good in the hand. I got pretty good sized hands, and look at that, it just melts into the hand. I mean, really good purchase on this. Any which way you use it, it's just awesome little knife. Highly recommend this little thing, man. And I believe these things go for like 40-50 bucks. I wish they would make a full-size version, Recon 1 in this Oz 10A and either satin finish or even this stonewash finish. It still looks nice. And then obviously they could maybe make it a little cheaper than the S35 VN ones, you know, sell that one for 60-70 bucks instead of the $100 price range, you know. I think I would buy one. Freaking badass. All right, let's go to the next one. So I'll go with we'll go for the original first. So y'all know the original right here is the Recon 1. This one here is just the regular size. This one here is S35 VN. I was a little leery about getting this one at first. Well, it took me so long to get this. You know, I mean, I've been collecting Cold Steel now for over 10 years, and I just never really caught my eye because of the black finish. I'm not a fan of black coated knives. Never have been. I am a huge fan of clip points, and I couldn't really tell how beautiful this knife was until I actually got it in hand. You know, a lot of the pictures on eBay or Amazon don't do it justice. And then when you get it in your hand, and the ergonomics of this thing is just awesome. Whether you go back like this and grab it on these, they're very far for if you need to do a little bit of chopping with it. You still got that triad lock, so you don't worry about this falling on your fingers and chopping your fingers. And you know, just awesome construction. G10 handle, so it's nice and tacky and feels good in the hand. I mean, this one, no blade play at all, up and down, side to side. This thing locks in like a vault. I mean, just super awesome secure lockup, and it's still freaking butter smooth as far as the action on the triad, you know. So man, no complaints with this thing. It's just awesome. And then so the one that got me started on getting this one, and I finally found one on eBay I got a pretty damn good deal on it. You know, pretty much for what they went for new back in the day, back when they had them. It's a Blades Canada exclusive, and that one has to be the satin finish Recon one in S35VN. Look how beautiful that is. Look at the grind work on this thing, man. And this one here has a tackier G10 handle. This one here is really tacky compared to the standard Recon one with the black finish. This one's a little more smooth. This is a newer generation. It's still grippy, but not too grippy. This one's super grippy. And I don't know, I kind of like the feel of this one though, but I guess people are saying this tears up your pocket, especially with the pocket clip. A lot of people said to take this off and sand this down right here so it's smooth because it'll just rip your pockets to shreds, things like that. And this new one, you have way less chance of that happening. But I just love the look of this. I love the feel of this. And for me, personally, I just throw it in my pocket. I very rarely use the belt clip. Maybe if I'm, you know, once in a while, if I'm at the gym and I have slippery pants and stuff, you know, something like that, like those nylons, you know, what do you call that material? Whatever, like sweatpant material. I'll clip it in just so it doesn't slide out when I'm laying on the bench press or doing squats or on the leg press where your legs are inverted like this and it can slide out. I'll clip it in, but very rarely I just throw them in my pocket on a day-to-day basis. And still has that triad lock, but it has a polished lock bar, polished belt clip, and that beautiful satin finish blade. So once I got this one in, I was like, oh, this thing is awesome, man. Now it made me want to get the regular one after this, like one to use, because this is a collector. I'm not going to be carrying this, man. This thing is going to go up in value. Just awesome. Mint condition, came with the box, never used. You can tell there. I mean, just freaking thing's absolutely razor sharp. I mean, this thing is absolutely flawless as far as condition. So this is just going to go up because they're not going to make these anymore, this style. The Blades Canada, they only made 400 of them. So for that reason, I wanted to get the Recon regular after I felt everyone says the regular one has the same feel to it because they didn't change. And you can see here, they didn't change really the texturing they did, but the actual ergonomics, the actual shape of the handles, they didn't change. They kept the same. So you could see there. Awesome. All right. And then have to go to, after I saw these two, and again, dumb luck, I just saw it come up. I didn't think nothing of it as far as being high collectible or being rare or anything like that. But I saw when it said, oh, Recon, it's a vintage Recon. So I bid on it. And I thought, I was like, oh man, I paid a little more than I wanted to for that. I actually paid more than I did for these other two here. But not by much, by like 20 bucks, 25 bucks. I was like, I paid a little more, but I was like, it's an older one. Probably can't find it that often. So I'll just, whatever, I bid and won it. And then come to find out after putting it on a few, like the Facebook has the Cold Steel. They have their own Facebook page. I posted a few pictures of it and I shared it a few times, did a few shorts on here on YouTube. And people are like, no, that's a pretty rare knife, man, especially in the condition you got it. And that one's hard to find like that. And, you know, those are going to go up in value because come to find out, they, Cold Steel, I guess, got sued or got a cease and desist to stop making it because of the lock. So let's show it up here. Boom, look how beautiful that is. This is the original Recon one with, they call it the Ultra lock. So Benchmade, I believe, is the one that sued them for copying this style lock because they didn't want, you know, because that was the one they're using. So obviously they must have the patent because Cold Steel ceased and desist on this back in the day and they stopped making it. So they didn't make that many of these. They only made a few, and then the ergonomics of this are a little different. As you can see, it's a little more blockier. It is a little heavier than the newer ones. You can feel it. It feels like, but to me personally, it feels like quality, man. It feels like a tool. This thing feels like a tool. The other two, there are tools. They're hardcore users and everything, but they feel a little bit more. How can I say it? It's the wrong word is to say cheap. It doesn't feel cheap. They feel like quality, but it's just, I can't describe it. It's just like you put this in your hand and it feels like a tool. This thing has heat-treated stainless steel liners. I don't know if it's going to pick it up here, but you got heat-treated stainless steel liners in there. I mean, just awesome fidget factor here, because obviously, you know, it's like an access lock. So the fidget factor is high on this thing. Just freaking badass. I love it. I like the pocket clip better on this than the new ones. This one's here is just one that works for both sides. And you can see this one here is absolutely in brand new, pristine condition, never used. Brand new out of the box too. So this thing is awesome. I have to say the action on this, obviously, since it has the fidget factor of it, it's a lot easier to open and close than the Triad lock, right? But now, Triad lock, of course, has a stronger lock. It's the Triad. It's one of the world's strongest locks. I mean, this thing is like pretty much a fixed blade. I mean, this thing will hold up to like, what is it, 800 pounds, or maybe probably more than that. I forget the actual amount, but this one here, they say around 150 pounds. But you got an access lock. You don't have the triad. So this is, you know, obviously stronger lock, but as far as deployment and the smoothness of it, I'd have to give it to the older one. This one, see right there, like, I mean, you could flick it out, but you got to give it a little bit of momentum. You got to give it a little bit of inertia here to get it out. Boom. This one, to fold it, you don't have to do no lock. Don't worry about your fingers. Just push down on the lock bar, slide it down. And then to flick it out, check this out. I'm not even going to put wrist in it. I mean, that's how easy it is. You know, just flick with the finger and just pop right open. This one, I mean, this one is just way faster, way smoother, but obviously you don't have the strength as the triad. As you can see between the two handles, the old one was a little different, a little more blockier, a little more, little less ergonomics for your finger, less finger grooves here. You just got this little one here and then kind of go smooth. Little thicker than this one, but in the hand between the two, this one feels like a straight up hardcore user tool, man. It just feels like something else. It's just crazy. And you can see the blade shape. And I like them both. I like the blade shape on both of these. I love this long swooping clip point here. This one has a long swooping clip, but it's still a little different. It's weird. It's a little more slender. It's a little fatter. It's a little more slender, but they're both just freaking badass. Both just badass. I'm glad I added this to my collection. You know, just not for the history of it. I didn't even know this was that collectible, and then this condition I hear is just super rare, which is great. I'm glad I picked one up because you can find these, but they're usually beat up and used. And oh, another difference is the coating. The coating here is considered that what do they call that? DLC coating, I believe they call it. I might be wrong on that. I think it's maybe DLC or DLT. I forget the actual name, but it's a certain kind of coating they put on it. This one here was a Teflon sprayed on paint, Teflon paint on this. So this one has obviously way more durable. This one will last you a lot longer before it starts rubbing off or fading off. This one here is paint, so it kind of chips off. And one subscriber said, or not subscriber, but one guy on YouTube was saying that if you scratch it, you can almost scratch the paint off of this if you scratch it, you know. So the paint wears off really easy on this one with use. And unlike this as a user, this will never wear off really. This is, I didn't tell you either, this is Oz 8. I'll put it there. It'll come up here. It's an Oz 8 steel. This one here is S35VN, so obviously this is going to be a stronger steel than this one. But for pocket knives, Oz 8 is just good. I mean, you're not going to be doing anything crazy with this, really, you know. And then the lockup on this older one, look at this. No up and down play, no side to side play. This thing is on there. I mean, it locks in tight too for being that type of a lock. It's just crazy. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. And yeah, I have to say this one here is really smooth in the action. I mean, it just drops when as soon as the triad releases, it drops pretty easy, pretty fluid, pretty well oiled up. But again, it doesn't beat this old style as far as that. And as far as left-handed or right-handed carriers, this one is more ergonomic, right? This one here, you could open or close it with either one. This one you can, but it's going to be a little bit more awkward. You have to move the clip, all that stuff. I mean, they're both the same, but this one I think is a little more comfortable if you're for right-hand or left-hand. If you're, you know, either one, you're going to have a lot easier time carrying this one than you would this one, and opening and deployment and all that stuff. Because the thumb studs too are, you see there, they're pretty much made for right-handed thumb studs. So you'd have to move this over this way. So this one here is just out of the box, better for left-hand or right-hand carry. You're good. You're good to go. All right, YouTube, that's it. I just want to do a quick one, show you guys comparisons between the 4 blades here. Actually, let me hold this little one real quick. You can see the size difference. So that's what you can say the Recon Mini is quite a bit smaller than the full size. And then I guess they make a bigger one. They make the XL, which I have to try to get one of these days. I'll get. They made an XL version of the Recon one. I would love to get that. Try to find a really good condition one of those. But right now, the only thing I see on eBay is just ridiculously priced. I'm not going to pay no $350, $400 for a cold steel folder with Oz 8 steel. No, I mean, if I find one, you know, for a decent price, I'll pick one up. But until then, I'm happy with the collection I got. I'm really happy with what I got. Yeah, I'm just, that's it, guys. I just wanted to show you my collection and go through the differences. And you know, give you guys a little bit of history on the Recon one here, and show you, like I said, all the all the similarities and all the differences on these three. Awesome. I'm really fortunate to have them. Glad I was able to get them all, especially in this condition. All right, guys, now I'm done. Please like, subscribe, share, and until next knife, gun, or whatever.